Hello and welcome to episode 171 of My Bonus Life. And here's today's agenda. So as you might notice, for the first time in quite a long time, I'm wearing a new t-shirt. So this here is a shirt that I got from a friend of Caroline's named Andrew Johnson, and his nickname is Dundee. And if you've just gone to see the David Attenborough special called Ocean, which was released last week, in the special thanks section of that video, you'll see Andrew Dundee Johnson listed in the credits. And he's there because he drives a boat down in Margaret River. And he was part of the production team making that latest version of Ocean. Dundee also likes to ride bikes, and this is, and I believe, you're going to know more about this than me, I believe that's a Surly PUGSLEY bike, and I'm not sure whether there was an 8-bit game based on it or not, but Surly PUGSLEY is a bike brand, and that's somehow related in a joke that I don't really understand. But anyway, Dundee had this shirt, and it ended up being given to me. So that's my new shirt. Okay. You remember a while ago we talked about the state election, which Labor ended up winning. A month after that, which was about 2 weeks ago now, we had a federal election and Labor won that also. So we are now very much a Labor country, which is on the left side of politics. And it was a comprehensive victory. The guy running for the Liberals was a guy called Andrew Dutton, and one of his main policies was that he was going to put Australia down a pathway to producing nuclear energy. And I've got a feeling that was one of the major reasons that people just couldn't find their way to vote for him, because as a country, we are so far down the route to being on the renewables road, like to completion, as in 100% renewable power. We're so far down that road that to now go, actually, we're going to go nuclear just doesn't make any sense at all. And there's a number of reasons. I'll tell you how I voted. There's a number of reasons I didn't vote for Dutton, but really the main reason was the nuclear one. I don't think now is the time for us to just start making power with nuclear materials. I think now would be the time to be getting out of that game. So so it turns out Anthony Albanese has won his second seat, so his second term in office, and Australia is going to go further and further and further down the renewables pathway. We've got heaps of sun in Australia. We've also got heaps of wind. We've got geothermal energy. We've got tidal energy. We've got hydroelectric energy. And on top of that, we've got oil and gas and coal. You know, we really should be the richest country on the planet with all of the energy that we have in Australia. But it's good to see that we are choosing to go down the renewable route. And apart from anything else, it's quickly becoming the cheapest energy. So even just on an economic basis, it's cheaper to make electricity from the sun and the wind than it is to make it with nuclear material. So that's a good thing. Even if you just go for an economic reason rather than an environmental reason, it's still worth doing the renewables thing. Now, in terms of work, I was on, as it turned out, an 11-week contract. I thought it was either 10 or 12. It turned out to be 11. And I completed that last Friday. So this is my first week off. To my surprise, I wasn't renewed. They had a very specific budget to produce a very specific outcome. And I'm pleased to announce to you, I hit the scope and I hit the budget, but I didn't hit the schedule. So I ended up being 2 weeks late. But because I took 2 weeks leave without pay in the middle of it, I didn't exceed budget. I had to wait for these other guys to get some stuff done before I could complete my stuff. So yeah, so on budget, on scope, and 2 weeks over schedule was how that turned out. And for those of you that are watching that work for WA Health, because I know a lot of you do, I can tell you that we now have 117 disaster recovery plans. This is technical work instructions, so saying exactly what you need to type and do to resolve a given disaster situation. We now have 117 of those that we didn't have 3 months ago. So I won't say that there won't be any disasters. There certainly will be, but I will say we are very, very much better prepared for them than we were 3 months ago. So, and I was a part of that. So that feels really good. Okay, now in other news, we have a housemate who's come back, Chico. Chico, do you want to come here? Come here, girl. Come here. Come on, girl, you can. I know, you're old and tired. So, if you remember Chico, so she visited us a while ago and she's back again because her true parents went to, I think it was Bali, and we're mining Chico while the parents are in Bali. So we've got a few photos, so I'll pop them over on the left. So here are some various photos of Chico being Chico around the place. So she's been great to have around. She's great company. She does shed a fair bit of fur, and she gets a bit insistent when she wants to go for a walk. But you know, it has been good for Caroline and I, because it has forced us to go walking, and actually both Caroline and I need to do more walking than we do, and little Chico here does sort of force you to do that. Chico's 13 years old, so she's not young, but she certainly doesn't mind going for a walk, and it is hilarious watching her going up and down stairs, because she is a sausage dog. So yeah, I know. So yep, so we've had Chico. Now in terms of health, I've had a sore left knee, and I don't know what's going on there, but what I have done is I've gone to my doctor and I've got a referral for a CT scan of my left knee just to see what's going on there. They did say that the best thing to work out what's wrong with the knee is an MRI. However, CTs are covered by Medicare and MRIs aren't. And considering the amount of radiation I've already had in my body already, it's too late for me to start being worried about CT, X-ray injuries. So I'm just going to go and have a CT. It's only on my knee. I mean, I've had so many that were virtually full body that having one knee done, it just isn't going to matter. So I'll let you know how that goes. I'm also coming up for my next 3 monthly blood scan and CT scan for my pseudomyxoma peritoni. So we'll see how that goes. That might be another month away or 3 weeks away. So I'll let you know when that happens. Now, on the cars front, Chassis 23 went to scrap heaven the other day. She still had a fair few good parts on her, but a really interesting car came up on the auction site, and I did that thing that plenty of people do, which is that I put in a low bid thinking, oh, I probably won't win it. And then it looked like I was going to win it. And then actually I was outbid, and then I was like, no, I really want it. So I bid again and I did get it. So Chassis 23 has gone to heaven. We did make a shelf out of the rear bumper reinforcing bar. So if you've watched the video of me stripping that car off, you'll see what we did with it. Noel and I made a top for it. So here's a photo of Noel doing the final fit on the shelf top. So that fits perfectly. So now I've got somewhere to put my tools in Caroline's carport. So that's good. So a little part of Chassis 23 is going to stay with us for a while, which is great. And Chassis 24 has already arrived. So it's basically a blue version of what Chassis 23 was. However, it's more damaged, and it's actually damaged in a way that might actually mean that I can't sell quite a bit of it, which is that it's been hit hard in the front right area, which has damaged the power. It's pushed the power steering back into the front right wheel, and it's also knocked the engine off the engine mount. And the engine mount is now making contact with the drive belt, which means it would be a bad idea for me to start the engine, because all I would be doing is I'd be rubbing that belt against the engine mount, which would tear the belt apart and break it fairly quickly. And apart from that, the engine actually doesn't even want to turn over. And I think the reason for that is because the airbags have gone off. And when the airbags go off, the car goes into a shutdown mode. And until you actually go in and reset the airbag control module, I don't think it allows you to start. So I think I could get it to start if I reset the airbag control module, but I don't know that I want to start it anyway because of the things that are physically interfering with the engine. So I'm probably just going to sell some things off it. But for example, the air conditioning compressor on chassis 23, I did sell it because I could start the engine, test the aircon. I was sure the aircon worked, so I removed the aircon compressor. With this one, because I can't start it and test it, I'm unlikely to remove the aircon compressor because I don't want to sell a part that then comes back and they say, hey, it doesn't work. You know, that's a really shitty situation when it happens. So I try to avoid it by not selling parts that I'm just not sure of. So there you go, which means chassis 24, I don't know how long it'll stick around for. It has got some expensive parts on it that do work. So I know I'm not going to lose money on it, but I don't know that I'm going to have it in my life for particularly long. Now, in terms of back scratches, I'll just have to put Chico down for this little bit. So you go down, there you go, there you are. So with the back scratches, we've got a whole bunch of them up to the stage where they're either at the final shaping phase or they're at the ready for laser etching stage. I've not been able to get out to Perry's guitar factory to do any laser etching out there. There is, and Perry's running a business, so I don't want to interfere with him running his business either. There is a laser etching machine at the men's shed, and it would be good for me to learn how to use that one because I've got it that is closer to me than Perry's workshop, firstly, so it's easier to get to. And secondly, I'm not interfering with someone's work when I do that. Whereas, you know, I always feel a bit bad when I take Perry away from making guitars for him to help me out on the laser etcher. I think it would be better for me to learn how to do it for myself and just do it myself at the men's shed. And, you know, and Noel probably would benefit from knowing how to etch as well. So I can, if I learn it, I can easily show Noel because he's at the men's shed as well. Then we can both use it. So that would be cool. Now, Deborah D's back scratcher has arrived. And so here's a photo of Deborah D using her back scratcher, obviously being very, very happy. Now, that's the good news. The bad news is back scratcher number 14, which is the fatter of these two here. It was actually the only one that we ended up lathing. We sent that to Barbara in Boca Raton, and it actually got stolen. She found the broken open packaging at her neighbour's house, which is this here, and the back scratch itself had been stolen. So this, right, it really actually affected me quite a bit. I do suffer from depression, and what that means is when I lose my serotonin, it takes quite a while for my serotonin to come back. So when I got this news, I was actually quite sad for about 2 days. Just I needed to give myself a lot of time for the serotonin to build back up. And I do recognise that a back scratcher is not the end of the world. It's just that when you've poured yourself into something, you know, like these are handmade. And that particular one, Noel did most of the work on. So I've just felt so bad because I knew that Noel had Noel must have put 3 hours into that, and I'd put in about an hour and a half. It hurt because it wasn't like someone was stealing money. You know, money is replaceable, but to steal someone's time and almost, if you know what I mean, to steal my love, actually really got to me. It hurt. Anyway, something good did come out of it though, because that's back scratcher 14. And the person that was going to be receiving back scratcher 15 contacted me and said, hey, it looks like my local post office is going to shut down for various reasons. And funnily enough, she said, so sending to me, you might be at risk of having it stolen. So I was actually thinking I would like to give up my spot for someone else. And I wrote back to her and I said, actually, you won't believe it, but the person that is down for back scratcher 14 has just had theirs stolen. So if you like, I can send yours to them. So that person, whose name is Rita B, who was put down for back scratch number 15, Rita has kindly donated her spot for her back scratcher to Barbara S, who's number 14. And so we've got an answer. So Barbara S, you will still be getting one. It's going to be the one that was originally for Rita B. So that's all resolved. So there you go. That story has ended up with a happy ending. So there's good news, bad news, then good news. Right, so lastly, please do subscribe and like. Sorry it took me a while to make this video. I had a fair bit going on with work you know what, I don't really have an excuse. I got to it today. But please do subscribe and like so you do get notifications when I do post a video. Be kind to yourself, be kind to those around you, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you from Paul in Perth. See you later.